We are dealing with a pandemic now, in time where God is speaking to the church very keenly about the next move of the Holy Spirit.
How do we listen to the voice of God in the midst of these fearful times?
All right, thank you very much. Our God is a God of seasons and times. He moves in timetables and periods, okay? And every definitive period has its instruction for that particular hour, all right? The prophetic realm is a realm of circles, right? That which was, is, and will always be. You understand? There is nothing new under the sun, okay? For example, we are dealing with a pandemic now, a time where God is speaking to the church very keenly about the next move of the Holy Spirit. You understand what I'm saying? But there's one fundamental thing that I've seen in every time and period, in every dispensation or cycle of history that has been consistent, is that it begins with the consciousness, the elevation of a man's consciousness, that there is more to this than what is happening. Okay? There is more to this, the sensing. God sometimes will let certain things happen, and that he will wait for men to start saying, I think there's more to what is happening. We are in times that are unique and queer and have their own predictions that go beyond the normal status quo. When a man starts to feel that is set on almost all believers, okay? But not many lean in, not many take time to separate themselves to ask God, what are you really telling us? Okay? Because of God's ways of doing the prophetic cycles, I have seen that the assignments of God are attached to God's prophetic cycles, to God's purpose. Okay? They are not tagged. Originally, they are tagged to individuals, but sometimes individuals have actually frustrated that, okay? Time immemorial, we've seen Reinhard Bonnke, the great evangelist, said the Lord told him that he had called 3 men or 4 to do what he was calling Reinhard to do, and those men refused. The late Catherine Kuhlman says that God had called certain people and they refused, and she was the available vessel. Okay, so how do we, to answer your question, how do we avail ourselves to really hear what God is saying for the hour? God is saying before we even seek to hear, we must present ourselves available to God. How available are you individually to God? And the character of an available vessel is a disciplined spirit. All right. The disciplined spirit that is out of hunger has exercised itself to be disciplined and diligent in the things of the Spirit to follow through. For example, how many Christians are actually praying in this period to ask God what's really happening? Okay. In the days of old, when the kings of old used to lose wars, they used to go to God to ask. Okay. When famines hit nations, prophets used to go and seek God. How many people have actually taken time to seek God for what is happening in this hour? How many people have disciplined their lives in prayer, and waiting on God to say we are available, right, in this particular cycle and period of time history to do our part, because parts are given that way in the spirit realm. You can never be effective in the spirit realm when your part is not drawn. You understand? For example, the book of Revelation, it says, whoever shall change, remove, or add on this book, his part shall be rubbed off. Every man has parts. We have allotted parts. These go beyond our giftings. All right? You can be, a prophet, a pastor, an evangelist, yes, but what is your part? It is the things that consecrate us into not only defining the trumpet but the voice. What is the trumpet voicing? What is the harp harping? What is the drum beating? What is really the message? This is where God now starts to give distinctive messages to tell us, Pastor Benny, this is your part. Apostle Grace, this is your part. The pastor or minister that is watching me, this is your part. How many people are actually asking, what is God really telling our people? Destinies of nations are changed through praying people, right? And because when they seek God, a voice is clearly given, and in the seeking of that voice, an instruction is given, then by that authority, the church can take certain confessions in the spirit that actually can change the status quo, the spiritual world. The principalities and dominions of this world are changed. God is looking for watchmen to stand on posts. God is looking for men and women who are ready to say, you know what, I'm standing for the sake of my nation, to take this, to believe and stand for the deliverance of our own people. And it's through that seeking, it's through that aligning to ourselves to the purposes of the Spirit that all things work together for good.